So thank you guys for doing this. We're really excited, and we have some really fun questions. Don't be too scared. We're not going to go too crazy on you guys. So first, I want to say how I got introduced to you guys. I was like 3 or 4, and my sisters used to be obsessed with TLC. So I can vividly remember like there was like a DVD or a tour you guys went on with TLC, and like the dynamic between you and TLC and Left Eye, like that's always been embedded in my brain. So this is really cool to be talking to you guys as a 4-year-old and now a 20-year-old, 20 years later.
Wow.
Yes. So I want to ask you guys first, how did you all meet?
Man, they got a better memory than I do, man. I ain't gonna be lie, man.
Okay, I'll just give you my experience on how we met. I met Cujo in the hospital, you know, back when we were born in 1972. We passed each other in the hall. I said, hey, Joe, we're going to do this later on, man. You going to live yours, I'm live mine, we'll meet again. And we did. You know what I'm saying? And I actually met Cee-Lo growing up from elementary school. We went to West Madam Elementary School together. And his sister, he had an older sister that's a little closer to me in age. We were really cool, you know, really good friends. And I watched her little brother come to school, and me and Cee-Lo became good friends. And, you know, we just grew from there. And we lived in the same, his grandmother lived in our neighborhood. So I would see him playing in the neighborhood and all that. But I was like 4 years older than him, so I was hanging with a different group of people at that time. But I would always see him. You know, I would always see him around, and he would always see me too. So that's how we met. Me and Gil, we went to summer camp one time together. Then we went to like this after-school program over, I think, the thing called Romar Academy.
Romar Academy.
And then we used to play this game. Believe it or not, it's crazy. This just show you, man. It was meant. We was real deal Connect Four heads. That's how me and Gil used to battle each other in Connect Four all the time, all the time. And I was just like, look how we connected four later on in life. It's just crazy to me. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Damn.
That's awesome.
I mean, Connect Four.
So who came up with Goodie Mob?
We came up with a Goodie Mob. It was born in the traps. It was born in the traps of born in the traps of Southwest Atlanta. My big homie, Big Lem. We used to have a little crew that used to do their little thing in the traps of Atlanta. You know what I mean? So that's where the name originated from. But as far as the good dying mostly over bullshit, and you taking one O away, and God's a never man of blackness, that was something that all of us had realized. When Cee-Lo came up with the good die mostly over bullshit, you take one O away, and God is a never man of blackness. So it came from the dirt, through the dirt, and then it sprouted into a big tree to what you see right now. And Big Rule, he the one that drew the logo for it.
Oh,
yep.
Wow.
He drew the logo for it. So at that time, it was a lot of young black men dying over bullshit back then. You know what I mean? Some of our friends was leaving this earth, you know what I'm saying, at a young age. You know what I mean? So we was just putting down our life while we could, you know what I mean? Because shit, we didn't know if it was gonna be us, you know what I mean? Because you know how they used to say, you ain't gonna make it to 21 and all those type numbers, but hey, you know, we surpassed that, you know what I'm saying? It stood the test of time on that. So big up to that.
Hey, Cee-Lo, welcome.
Oh, he did that. Did that.
Michaela, do you want to go to the next questions?
Oh, yes. I was waiting for everybody to get settled. All right. So, you know, the Dungeon family, of course, is a household name. And, of course, you guys, Goodie Mob, which leads to my question. Was the Dungeon family created first, or was it Goodie Mob?
Believe it or not, everybody was in the Goodie Mob. Goodie Mob was first. Everybody was in the Goodie Mob. When we first started recording the Southern Playlist of Cadillac music, everybody was in Goodie Mob. Then that's why when you heard Andre say Big Gip, Goodie Mob, all of us really was still just putting together. Cujo and T-Moe came into the Dungeon together. Gip came into the Dungeon as a solo artist coming from a group called East Point Chain Gang. and Cee-Lo was coming to the dungeon as a solo artist. So, you know, once we finished Get Up, Get Out, and Get Something and Call It a While, Reek and Pull in the room was like, yo, this record going platinum, and now they talking about y'all, what y'all want to do. I would think that the first thing I would do would put y'all in the same group, so we don't break what we got going on. So I mean, from there, we said we're gonna be a group, and then shoot, the first thing we did was go in the studio and we started recording the first album in Curton, which is Curtis Mayfield's house in Southwest Atlanta.
Man, we are getting a whole exclusive history lesson right now. And you know, being from Atlanta, you guys hold so much culture, especially with hip hop. With that being said, how did being from Atlanta influence your music, lyrics, and the style of the group?
Oh man. Well, I mean, just being from Atlanta influenced, you know what I'm saying, our style. But of course, you know what I'm saying, you got to give props to those that came before us, you know what I mean? Like Ghetto Boys, Ball, MJG, you know what I'm saying, Luke Skywalker, you know what I'm saying, Public Enemy, NW. You know, the list goes. But the thing about hip hop is that it's supposed to evolve and get better, not go backwards. You know what I mean? So when it came down to Atlanta, Georgia, people already say, you know, y'all talk country. You know what I mean? So for us to be able to articulate and put it in raps about a Headland and Delow, or about an Eastport, or about Southwest Atlanta, or about Bankhead, you know what I mean? And then engulf that with political things, and with, you know what I'm saying, with moral things, you know what I mean? And just with some OG type sprinkling on that type of thing, you know what I mean? And just bringing a whole new way of talking to the game, you know what I mean? And that's just, you know, that's kind of like how I, you know what I'm saying, kind of like how I developed my style, man. Just really listening to Gift, listening to Cee-Lo, listening to T-Moe, and finding my groove and finding my niche and becoming a asset, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So steel sharp as steel, I always say, you know what I mean?
That kind of segues into my next question for you, Cujo. So Goodie Mob is known to have introduced trap music. And you guys or Cujo, you were trapping before you started rapping. So how actually true is that? And is that something the group actually represents? And does trap mean the same thing it meant?
I'm so sorry.
Hey, mute that thing, Shawty.
I don't have nowhere to go.
Mute that thing. Can you mute it?
I'm gonna mute my phone and just listen. I don't know how to do this shit.
Where you at?
I love y'all.
Where you at?
I love everybody.
Much love to you too.
I'm gonna keep it 1K.
You're so pretty.
I'm gonna keep it
Who's
1K.
that pretty girl? Joe, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hold on, man.
Go ahead, Joe.
Nah, I'm gonna keep it 1K with you, Shawty. Actually, Dre said trap in Southern Playlist Academy on Players Ball. So he said I set up trap, so set up that. You feel what I'm saying? So technically, he said it first. If you really want to take it there, but that was just a culture that niggas call selling drugs in Atlanta. They called it trapping. You know what I mean? So before we got on, that's what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? I was a part of that culture, not proud of it. That's why all our songs went about trapping. You know what I'm saying? In the trap, it's about you got to watch your back all the time. You know what I'm saying? It was robbing you by the police. So you know what I'm saying? It was really pros and cons, and I wasn't really glorifying trap, but it brought a sense of it brought us something to me, you know what I mean? Just to be doing some illegal shit and getting away with it, you know what I mean? At the time when you're young, you know what I'm saying? Just gave you some type of high, you know what I mean? But like I said, our album wasn't about trap, you know what I mean? It's just that one song. I think twice, maybe on Sesame Street and maybe on Thought Process. Those two things. But you see, when I was using it in the context, see, we gotta think about the context. What comes before I say the word trap and what comes after it. You feel what I'm saying? Then you can see how we using it in context. You know what I'm saying? It's a real grueling thing, man, to be sitting somewhere selling dope to all people. You know what I mean? And thinking you're going to make a living, you know what I'm saying? Be a kingpin. So, I mean, that shit just didn't work for me, you know what I mean? But I still remember some of the things I seen in the trap and how it made me feel, you know what I mean?
So do you think trap has the same meaning now than it like 20 years later than when you guys were first kind of seeing it?
Yeah, I think it still got the same, man. Well, different. Well, now we're trapping a brand now. You know what I mean? Now we're trapping music now. You know what I mean? Now we're that type of trapping. You know what I mean? So it ain't got to be something illegal or something that's going, you know what I'm saying, that's going to hurt your people or hurt somebody else or put you in the position to hurt somebody. Now we're using it in a different context now. I feel now, if you ask me, but yeah, probably people still got the same meaning as trapping as selling dope on wax or selling dope, period. But we're trapping a different product now.
I love that. So
yeah, I'm good now, y'all. Sorry.
Yeah, you're good. Welcome.
Hey.
So this is for anybody, and this is kind of segueing just like how much you guys like the culture. You guys had like a strong relationship with Tupac, and was it true that he wanted to be a part of Goodie Mob?
Yeah, it's true. His brother came up to me. We was at the warehouse. It was a club back in the days that a lot of hip hop acts were broken at. You know, they gave hip hop artists an opportunity and a platform to kind of express themselves. And we used to go there all the time. I mean, it used to be the Phoenix Dance Club first, then it changed to the warehouse. It was just so hip hop. Like everybody would be up in that thing. It'd be so packed you couldn't even move. I mean, seriously. And I guess one day his publicist came up to me and she was like, you know, I work with Tupac. I'm his publicist. Personally, I didn't believe her at first. You know, I was like, yeah, you know, whatever. You know, you just trying to talk. You know, I don't want to talk. So I was trying to worry about the show we had. So the young lady came back. She said, no, I really do work with him. You know, he's in Clinton, you know, facility right now. And he's doing, you know, his time, but when he gets out, he really wants to connect with y'all. He really respects you all's music and wants to work with y'all. I'm like, for real, like, I'm just trying to figure out like how, you know what I'm saying? Like how, you know, how in the world? You know, it just was amazing because I was like, I don't even know if we had an album out yet. I don't know. I can't remember. I remember that time. If we did it just dropped. I mean, it just dropped. Yeah. And she came up to us and I promise you, when we didn't entertain him in that offer and him wanting to get with us, immediately he got with Suge Knight. And that's on everything I love in this world.
Wow. So y'all could have been his like OGs back then. Almost.
Yeah. He older than me, you know what I'm saying? But and he been in the game longer than us, you know what I mean? So he'd have been our OG, you know, he just been down with the cause, you know, down with another soldier, you know what I mean? Another soldier for the people, you know, and that would have been awesome. But, you know, that wasn't meant to happen. You know, life is what it is, and what God allows to happen to every one of us one day is going to happen regardless, you know. So we just got to be loved while we're here. We got to show love, spread love, and be loved. You know what I mean?
Amen.
And that's what we're doing right now. That's what good, you know, the good that most over bullshit is all about. It's all about just showing people that it's a lot of people out here dying for no cause, for no apparent reason, getting caught up in the innocent crossfire of others, you know, beefs and, you know, bullshit that is going on in the world. And it's sad. It's sad. It's sad. Look at Breonna Taylor. There it is, right there. I can just say that's just one. You know what I mean? I can name so many. But you know what I mean? It's so many people out here, good people, dying over nothing. And that's why Goodie Mob continue to be together, continue to do music. You know, that's our cause, that's our purpose, that's our drive, that's our inspiration. You know, so. Yeah, I'm multitasking, y'all.
That's all good. Now this year marks the 25th anniversary of Soul Food. How do you guys feel knowing that it's 25 years in?
Woo! It feels amazing. I can say it feels amazing that we all, to me, look the same. You know what I'm saying? Minus a couple of these gray hairs I cut off down here. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, man, we all look the same. I swear I feel just as good as I did back in my 20s. You know, I feel like I still can go as hard. You know, we all exercise. We all, you know, stay active. So that's a good thing because I didn't know that being the age I am right now was going to feel this good. I didn't. When I was younger, I looked up like somebody my age. Woo, that's an old man. You know, I think you're a big OG. You some big OG, triple OG. But the way I feel, man, I feel like, man, I'm one of y'all. You know what I'm saying? Don't get it twisted. When we get on the stage, we gonna look like one of y'all. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's gonna scare you. You know what I mean? So that's why we're trying to continue to go. That's our drive. That's what keep us motivated. You know, to just keep continuing to look as good as we feel, and to give the people the energy that God has allowed us to give to y'all. You know, He allowed us to be this healthy, allowed us to be, you know, energetic, you know, inspirational type group. Then let us bring it to them. Let us bring it to the world. You know what I mean? And section off nobody. Somebody just asked us, who do we make our music for? We make our music for the people. For the people that love Goodie Mob, that love OutKast, that love Dungeon Family. You know what I'm saying? For those people, for those fans that's been down with us from day one for 25 years, and we ain't making this music for y'all, then I don't know who we making it for. I don't know.
Actually.
So that's T-Moe.
I had read in an article that the Dirty South was an actual movement before it became a song. And I really want you guys to elaborate on the Dirty South movement.
Well, it really wasn't a Dirty South movement. It was just a way that Dirty South is almost like what the South was. We was given a depiction of what it felt like living in the South during the 90s, during the late 80s. You know what I mean? So Dirty South, you know, you got to remember that, you know, the Confederate flag was still flying in the South then. That was still flying on the Georgia Capitol. You know what I mean? The Confederate flag still flying in the southern states. So with that being said, I think that when we made that song, it was really a calling out and letting people know that even though we've made some strides in time and in society, we still had a lot more to do, you know, to get the respect of the people and the people of this country. You know what I mean? Because I mean, like, again, we at a crossroads again 20 years later. You know what I mean? Right now in the pandemic and everything that's going on, we killing us at the same rate that they was killing us back then. I mean, NWA said fuck the police in what, the 90s? You know what I mean? And it's still like it's still the same attitude out here on our side. So with that being said, I just think that Dirty South was really just, it was a song that I got called to the studio. Reek written. Cool Breeze is the author of Dirty South. You know what I mean? Cool Breeze is the one that came up with that record, and me and Big, we came in and we did our thing.
That's awesome.
Do you hear the influence of Goodie Mob in the new era of music right now? Do you hear yourselves in with these new rappers that are coming out now?
Yeah. I mean, Kendrick is the epitome of I say it like this. J. Cole is Goodie Mob, Kendrick Lamar is OutKast.
Okay.
So
that's a really good correlation. Yep.
I see that.
One last question, though. One last question, Kelly. Are we going to get a Future and Goodie Mob collaboration anytime? Are we going to see that?
Man, he was just so busy. But we gonna get one with him. It's all good. You already know. We gonna get one with the wizard.
We're
Before it's
speaking
over with,
into
we gonna get
existence.
one.
Yes.
Well, thank you guys so much.
No, thank y'all. Thank
You
y'all.
guys take care and be safe during the pandemic.
And
New album.
congratulations on 25 years.
Yes, new album now.
thank you.
13th of next month, the new album. Survival Kit.
Go get
Okay.
Okay, thank
Y'all go pre-save that thing today. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey, y'all.
Bye. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Peace.